My mom forgot to serve my daughter at Christmas, claimed there wasn't enough after she upset the golden grandchild. Meanwhile, he got seconds. I stayed silent, collected our gifts, and left. At 9:47 p.m., Dad texted, "Rent's due tomorrow." I didn't argue. I just, "Hey everyone, Alex here. I'm 35, an IT lead, an older brother, a husband to my amazing wife, Sarah, and a dad to our incredible daughter, Lily, who we adopted when she was 3. I'm usually the steady one, the guy who brings the folding chairs, keeps the battery drawer stocked, and just generally fixes things. Wi-Fi, wobbly tables, family squabbles, you name it. My family has always liked me because, well, I was useful. Christmas at my parents' house is less a holiday and more a highly ritualized performance. The same ancient plastic nativity, the one-eyed paper snowman, my mom's identical burn CD from 2008 blasting the same carols. It's predictable, and usually, predictable is fine. My brother, Nate, always shows up late with his son, Max, 9, wild, and the undisputed golden grandchild. Mom dotes on Max like he's royalty, and the rest of us are just tenants. This past Christmas, Sarah and I walked in, carrying our designated casserole and cookies. Lily, with her sweet, hopeful face, had a carefully wrapped drawing for Nana. Stick figures holding hands under a crooked tree. She looked up at me, a silent question in her eyes. "Is this okay?" I just smiled. "Perfect," I told her. The usual chaos unfolded. Coats piled on a chair. Mom bustling, ordering us to take off our shoes because the floors had just been done. Dad gave me a quiet nod, a silent summons to help with the roast. Lily, buzzing with excitement, peeked into the dining room. The table was set, a festive red runner, 8 gleaming plates, shiny forks ready for the feast. "Where do I sit?" she asked, pointing. "Right next to me," I said, my heart warm. Then Mom clapped her hands, a signal. "Everyone to the table." She practically materialized a plate in front of Max before he even sat down. He was already chewing something, a second helping of something waiting for him on a side dish. He grinned like he'd just robbed a bank. Lily, our quiet, gentle Lily, slid into her chair, looking at her placemat. And that's when it hit. There was no plate, no fork, just a bare square, a faint, sticky smear where a candy cane had probably melted last year. I tried to keep my voice light, try to make it sound like an oversight. "Hey Mom," I said, "we need a place setting for Lily." Mom didn't even look up. There wasn't enough. My breath hitched. "What?" Sarah pressed her knee against mine under the table. Nate just shrugged, a dismissive flick of his hand. "She upset Max, remember?" Lily's voice was barely a whisper. I bumped his tower. "It was cups." I said sorry. Mom waved a hand, as if shooing a fly. "We don't reward bad behavior." And then, Max reached for more, and Mom, my mother, served him with a laugh. "Growing boy," she cooed. Lily sat there, her hands folded in her lap, her little mouth a tiny, tight line. And in that moment, something inside me snapped. Not with a shout, but a terrifying, quiet crack. "We're going to head out," I heard my own voice say, flat and unfamiliar. Mom's smile hardened, turned sharp. "Alex, don't be dramatic." Nate actually smirked. "Dude, it's Christmas." I stood. Sarah stood. Lily stood. We gathered the gifts we'd brought, still perfectly wrapped. No one said a word to stop us. My dad just watched, silent as a TV that had just been unplugged. The porch air was like a knife. I opened the car door. Lily climbed in and buckled herself without a sound. Sarah's eyes were wet, but her expression was calm, resolute. I didn't say a word as I put my hands on the wheel, just kept repeating to myself. Asterisk, we're not making a scene. We're not making a scene. Asterisk, we pulled away. The house shrank in the mirror, the same old burned CD still playing behind the door we'd just closed. I didn't check my phone. Not yet. You see, Sarah and I went through a lot to adopt Lily. A year of classes, inspections, forms thick as bricks. The day the judge's gavel officially fell, Lily clutched a stuffed fox and whispered, "Am I yours now?" I said, "Forever," and I meant it so fiercely it actually hurt. My parents, they said they were proud. They even took a photo with the judge. Mom framed it, but it ended up on a side table, sandwiched between 2 pictures of Max. At family dinners, she'd point to it like it was a souvenir from a vacation we took once, rather than the most profound moment of our lives. Nate was neutral about Lily until he realized adoption didn't involve baby showers or gift registries. He calls her, "your girl," like she's some kind of interchangeable accessory, a distance he can't be bothered to cross. Max, bless his heart, started calling her not really cousin, which, let's be honest, he didn't invent on his own. Money in our family, it's always been there, like salt on the table, used without a second thought. From the moment I got my first help desk job, Mom started with the quick favors. The internet bill was confusing. Car insurance was time-sensitive. Nate needed a bridge loan between bartending shifts. Dad's back would go out, and suddenly I was covering his bills for a month that stretched into 3. Sarah is a nurse. She works nights sometimes. We're not exactly swimming in cash, but we plan. We say no to expensive vacations and yes to dental care. We budget. We refill our savings with a spoon, not a shovel. Every December, it's the same old dance. Mom assigns the side dishes to everyone else and slips in a big-ticket item to us because you two are just so reliable. Turkey once, ham twice. You get points on your card, she'd chirp, as if points are a currency that can feed my kid. When I try to split costs, Mom would turn soft. Don't make this about money, sweetheart. Nate would get loud. Dude, I'm between gigs. He's been between gigs for 3 years now, yet Max never seems to run out of new shoes. Before this Christmas, Mom called with her usual cheerful demands. Can you grab the roast and the good napkins? The ones with the gold edge, and wine, 2 reds, 1 white. Oh, and plates. Ours are chipped. You know where to find a deal. I drew a line. We can bring sides and dessert. That's our cap. She went quiet for a beat. It's Christmas, Alex. Don't nickel and dime the season. Sarah squeezed my hand. We've got our own bills, I said, trying to hold firm. Nate chimed in on the family chat. Don't start. Then he posted a photo of Max at a trampoline park, captioned, worth it. 2 days later, Dad sent a screenshot of utilities went crazy this month, with a number that looked suspiciously round and fake. I asked for the actual bill. He wrote back, it's complicated. That's his shorthand for don't ask questions. We kept our heads down. Lily, oblivious, made cards for everyone, stick figures with stars, and Nana, spelled Nona. She'd even practiced a little Merry Christmas speech because she's into speeches now. School does that to kids. That morning, as I helped Lily with her tights, I remember thinking, asterisk, we can survive one dinner. Just smile, nod, leave at a normal time. Don't be the problem. Asterisk, but at the house, the first hit came quick. The empty spot. Max's seconds. The whole room, the whole family, bending around one child like gravity. I felt the familiar urge to run interference, that old part of me that screams, asterisk fine, I'll fix it. Just stop yelling. Asterisk, but then I looked at Lily's small hands, folded like a silent prayer, and something even older, something primal, woke up inside me. We left. Back home, I heated up chicken nuggets. Sarah added carrot sticks. We ate on the couch, under a blanket that smelled of laundry soap. Lily watched a movie, doing that adorable running commentary kids do. Look, a dog. She didn't mention the empty table. She didn't ask why. After she brushed her teeth and curled up with her stuffed fox, I checked my phone. 9 missed calls from Mom. 4 from Dad. 2 from Nate. A new family chat banner. We need to talk about Alex. A text from Mom. Please don't embarrass us with a scene. A scene? I hadn't said a word. Then, at 9:47 p.m., Dad texted me directly. Rent due tomorrow. That was new. Not a reminder. Not we're tight. Not can you help. Just a flat sentence that assumed my wallet was his. I stared at the screen. Sarah saw my face. What now? I held up the phone. She closed her eyes and exhaled, a long, weary sound. Of course. We didn't answer. We tucked Lily into bed, turned off the twinkling tree lights, and sat at our small kitchen table, the one we'd bought with a coupon, and spent a weekend sanding ourselves. Tomorrow, Sarah said. We handle it tomorrow. She didn't mean the rent. She meant the pattern. I lay awake for hours, replaying Lily's hands on that bare placemat, the way my mother had looked at me when I asked for a plate, like I'd asked her to split the ocean. Around midnight, my phone buzzed again. Nate in the group chat. Bro, you made Max cry. Pay the rent, and stop being weird. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. Then I just put the phone face down. I slept. Not well, but I slept. Morning. Our quiet apartment. The pale winter light. Coffee that tasted like waking up. Lily patted out in her fuzzy socks. Is today still Christmas? She asked, her voice sleep soft. It's the day after, I said. Which means, pancakes? She grinned. Chocolate chip. Obviously. Sarah kissed the top of my head and left for a short shift. Text me, she said. Anything. Everything. After pancakes, I opened my banking app. Because that's what you do when you're about to be told what to do with your money. I saw our grocery transaction from yesterday, for the side and dessert we brought. The gifts we bought for their house, from a kid's draw names, tradition that somehow never drew Max's name to us. 40 minutes gone to math and a chest tightness I knew all too well. The family chat was already a firestorm. Mom, we are all so disappointed in how you handled last night. Aunt Lisa, let's remember it's the Lord's Day. Nate, you owe Dad rent. Dad, new system this month. I'll send link. I typed and erased 3 different starts. Then I did something simple. I scrolled up and saved a photo from last night. The dining table with 8 plates and a stark, blank square. I saved the 10-second video of Max being served seconds while Lily sat with her hands in her lap. I saved the voice note where Mom said, there wasn't enough. Then I wrote, last night, you didn't set a place for my daughter. You said there wasn't enough because she upset Max. He got seconds. We left. I sent the photo. I sent the video. The typing dots exploded. Mom, you are taking things out of context. Nate, dude, be a man and stop whining. Dad, we'll talk later. Rent first. Link coming. Mom, Lily should learn consequences. I replied, she's 7. Nate sent a clown emoji. Then, grow up. I took a deep breath and went to my notes app. If I had to be the boring person with receipts, fine. I'd been in this role before. I listed 12 months of quick favors. $120 for dad's car. $200 for mom's emergency dentist. $70 here for a party shortfall. $150 there for now. Never returned. I totaled it. I took screenshots. Sarah texted me privately. I'm with you. Say the thing. I dropped the screenshots into the family chat. This is just the last year. I didn't complain, but last night crossed a line. I won't pay your rent. I won't accept Lily being treated as less. Do not ask me for money without a bill. Actually, don't ask me for money. Period. Silence. Then, all at once. Mom, how dare you tally our kindness? Kindness? Dad. Pay rent first, argue later. Nate, my kid is not the problem. I answered him. Your kid is not the problem. The way you treat my kid is. He replied, if she didn't knock his build, it was cups. I cut him off. And she apologized. Mom, ever the master manipulator, switch tactics. Your father's blood pressure is up. He's stressed. This isn't good for his heart. There it was. The health grenade. The one that means if something happens to him, it's on you. My stomach did that old familiar twist. Then I looked at Lily, who was drawing a fox wearing a scarf, humming to herself. I typed 3 letters. No, Mom. No what? No to paying your rent. No to pretending last night was normal. No to being your emergency fund. Dad started. Alex, I didn't wait. I left the family phone plan. I paid off my device, started a new plan with Sarah, and sent a polite text. I've moved our numbers. Please remove my line from your account. Practical. Clean. No more. Why is Max streaming premium games on my data? I opened my email and wrote subject, boundaries. I kept it short, to the point, with bullet points. Asterisk, I will not pay your rent. Asterisk, I will not be part of events where Lily is excluded. Asterisk, I will only discuss money with actual bills attached. Asterisk, do not contact Sarah about this. I CC'd Sarah. I BCC'd myself. The doorbell rang at 10:40 a.m. It was Dad, alone, wearing the good coat he saved for weddings and meetings with bank managers. He looked tired, hopeful, a little ashamed. I opened the door with the chain on. Hi, he tried to smile. Let's be men about this. Meaning, come on, he said softly. Help your old man out. 1 month, then we're square. Dad, I said, my voice steady. I adopted a kid. I budget a mortgage's worth of groceries so other people can eat. And last night, my mother told my daughter there wasn't a plate for her. You want me to be a man? Here it is. I'm her father first. He rubbed his face. Your mother gets carried away. She didn't mean it. She meant it enough to say it. He looked past me, into our little living room. The crocheted blanket from Sarah's aunt. Lily's drawing of a whale. Our cheap tree with homemade ornaments. He swallowed. We can fix this. We can fix this. I agree, I said. But not by me paying your rent. He sighed hard. You know your brother doesn't have it. I know, I said. And I'm done carrying what he won't. He stared at his shoes. Your mother will be furious. She already is. He held out an envelope, like a weird offering. Then at least take your Christmas card. I took it. I didn't open it. He waited. I didn't move. Okay, he said finally. Okay. He left without yelling. I shut the door and leaned on it. My hand shook like I'd lifted something impossibly heavy. Maybe I had. I went back to Lily. Want to help me make cocoa? I asked. She nodded. With marshmallows? With marshmallows. We stirred in circles. The kitchen smelled sweet and sane. My phone buzzed on the counter. I didn't pick it up. Not then. Boundaries, I've learned, feel deafeningly loud to the people who prefer you quiet. The first few days after Christmas were a chorus of outrage. Mom called so much I set her to deliver quietly. Her voicemail started with sweetheart and ended with selfish. In between, she tried every argument. You owe us. We raised you. You embarrassed us. Max didn't sleep. Your father's doctor said stress is bad. Like I control physics. Nate sent a text so long it read like a Facebook comment thread from hell. You think you're better than us now because you adopted. You always needed attention. You always wanted to prove you were the good one. Pay rent and shut up. I stared at the word adopted and felt something curdle inside me. I typed, deleted, typed again. Then I wrote, never talk about Lily like she's a prop. Ever. He replied with 3 laughing emojis and chill. I blocked his number for a week. Bliss. Sarah and I made a new house rule. We wrote it on a whiteboard and taped it to the fridge. No one makes Lily small. No one makes Dad small. No one makes Mom small. Lily, being Lily, added a box around her own name and decorated it with stars. We took Lily sledding on a hill behind the library. The snow squeaked under our boots. Our breath hung in the crisp air like little ghosts. Lily shrieked as she shot down the slope, crashing into a soft pile, rolling around in pure, unadulterated laughter. Again she yelled. We did it again. And again. Simple joy that asked nothing from us but our time. At home, I did tiny, normal things that felt like rebellion. I scheduled my own dental checkup. I unsubscribed from the family streaming account and tallied up how much it had actually cost me in I'll pay you later promises that never arrived. I cooked big meals and froze portions for later. I put $50 into a savings account labeled boring emergencies. And for the first time in a long time, I actually slept. Day 3. Dad texted me a photo of a scribbled budget. Working on it, he wrote, almost proudly. It was half a joke, half a question. I wrote back, yes, and sent him the contact info for a senior center counselor who offers free money workshops. He replied, your mother won't go. I wrote, you can. He sent a thumbs up. It felt like a crack of light under a heavy, heavy door. Mom, of course, posted on Facebook about kids these days and respect. A cousin screenshotted it and sent it to me with a worried, you okay? I answered, we're fine. Thanks for checking. The cousin replied, good for you. Little, tiny, unexpected votes of confidence. I took them. On day 5, Mom switched tactics. Come by Sunday, she texted. Just you. We'll talk. I replied, no ambushes. Public place. Library. And you apologized to Lily first. She sent a single period. Then, fine. Sunday afternoon, we sat in a library study room under fluorescent lights that make everyone look like a tax document. Mom wore her nice sweater. Dad wore the coat again. They looked tired, but in a human way, not a dramatic one. Mom started to speak, looking down at the table. I'm sorry if. No if, I said, keeping my voice even. Say it for Lily. She swallowed. I'm sorry I didn't set a place for Lily. Dad cleared his throat. We messed up. Thank you, I said. We don't do that again. Mom's eyes filled. Max is Max. He's sensitive. Lily is sensitive, I countered. She's 7. She's ours. She isn't second. Silence stretched. A kid squealed in the children's area. Someone shelved books. Real-life sounds. Dad pulled out a folded paper. About the rent, he said carefully. We'll figure it out. I sent resources, I said. I can help you call. Mom bristled. We're not helpless. Good, I said. Then you don't need our money. She sat back, like I'd yanked a cord she'd been leaning on. You're cruel sometimes. I'm boundaried, I said. It looks similar if you're used to me being easy. The study room clock ticked loud as a metronome. Finally, Mom exhaled. We'll go to your counselor place. We'll try. Thank you. We didn't hug. We didn't scorch the earth. We set a meeting time. I wrote it down. Dad nodded like he was committing to a diet. Mom dabbed her eye corners with a tissue. Outside the library, my phone buzzed. It was Nate. I almost didn't pick up. I did. He started without hello. Mom's crying. Happy. I'm not happy, I said. I'm not your ATM, either. You think I don't want to help? I can't. And you can. That's the difference. No, I said. The difference is I do. You don't. He huffed. We're family. Then act like it. He sputtered. You're going to keep Lily from us. You did that, I said, and hung up. At home, Lily showed me a tooth that was kind of wiggly. We high-fived like she'd earned a promotion. We ordered pizza to celebrate. She put a slice on a plate, and then, because she's her, put a second plate next to it and said, this is for my fox. She laughed at herself like she'd just nailed the best joke in the world. The week moved on. Work tickets. Packed lunches. School drop-offs with a pink hat. Mom texted me a photo of a budgeting worksheet with 3 empty lines filled. This is stupid, she wrote. Then, but okay. Progress looks weird in my family. But I'll take it. One evening, Sarah and I did the audit we'd been avoiding. We opened our shared notes and wrote, what changes? My finger hovered. Then I typed, vacation fund. Sarah's mouth fell open. Are we allowed? She joked. We set up an automatic transfer of $25 every paycheck. Small. Laughably small. Also everything. At bedtime, Lily whispered, did I do wrong at Christmas? No. I said, forehead to hers. You did great. Will Nana like me later? That's Nana's job, I said. Your job is to be you. She nodded like she knew. Maybe she does. January came like a clean page. We mailed in Lily's sharing day sign-up form. She picked foxes as her topic. Of course she did. Mom sent a group text. Family dinner next month. House rules. Everyone eats. Everyone helps clean. Money covered by hosts. Then she sent another. We're serious. Don't bring food unless you want to. Nate wrote. LOL. What happened to you two? Dad wrote. We're trying something new. I rubbed my eyes and showed the phone to Sarah. She raised an eyebrow. Huh. We RSVP'd with. If there's a plate for Lily, we'll be there. Mom replied. There will be. When the day came, I carried nothing but a salad Lily insisted on making, because she's so proud of her lettuce washing technique. We walked in. The table had enough plates. It had place cards. Lily, in shaky marker, with a sticker star, Lily. She lit up like someone had turned on a lamp inside her chest. Mom fluttered. Look, she said, trying too hard. Enough. Lily ran a finger over her name. That's mine, she said. Yes, I said. It is. Dinner felt like holding your breath underwater for a long, long time, and then finally breaking the surface to find that air still exists. Not perfect. Not completely healed. Not equal. But better than there wasn't enough. We ate. We helped clean. We left early because we like our own couch. No one texted about rent after. No one scolded me for not bringing a ham. A stack of small miracles. At home, I opened the envelope Dad had tried to hand me at our door. It was a photo of me, holding Lily in the courtroom the day the judge made it official. On the back, Dad had written, proud of the man you are becoming. Learning, too. Dad, I showed Sarah. She pressed the corner of the photo with her thumb, like she was pinning it to reality. Keep this, she said. I did. This is what I know now. In plain words I can stick to the fridge. Love without respect is a bill that never stops coming. If I pay it, I teach my daughter to hand over her plate with a smile and call that kindness. I won't. I'm her father. That's my whole job. I didn't make a scene. I made a boundary. I didn't send a speech. I sent screenshots and a simple no. I didn't slam the door. I locked it and then, eventually, opened it again with terms. Mom still pokes. Nate still sulks. Dad sends pictures of the garden, dirt to sprouts. Sometimes he adds progress. Sometimes, he just adds a green check mark. Fine. Lily's whiteboard rules still live on our fridge. No one makes Lily small. No one makes Mom small. No one makes Dad small. She added a fourth last week. Tongue out, practicing her letters. Everyone gets a plate. That's it. That's the moral. Everyone gets a plate. If you forget, we leave. When my phone buzzes at 9:47 p.m. now, it's usually a blurry photo of Lily and her fox, tucked under a quilt. Both asleep. Both pretending. No rent links. No emergency guilt. Just my life. Quiet. And paid for by us. I didn't make a scene. I just decided who I am in this family. And then, I acted like it.